much do you know about the reunification of Germany over 32 years ago? After World War II, a certain Potsdam Agreement separated Germany into four Allied occupation zones. By 1949, these four occupation zones were turned into two different countries, commonly known as West Germany and East Germany. By 1956, nearly all travel between East and West Germany was restricted, but East Germans tried leaving anyway to the tune of 3.5 million people. On August 12, 1961, leaders of East Germany signed an order to build a wall. In the dead of the night, East German soldiers had already laid down more than 30 miles of barbed wire barrier through the heart of Berlin before people even had a chance to wake up. From one day to the next, East Berlin citizens were forbidden to pass into West Berlin, and the number of checkpoints was drastically reduced. The wall even sometimes separated houses that were both in the East and West zones. An interesting note is that the barbed wire and concrete structure was officially known as the Antifaschische Schutzwall, or anti-fascist bulwark, between East and West Berlin. The official purpose of the wall was to keep the Western fascists from entering East Germany and undermining the socialist state. During the rest of 1961, the Berlin Wall continued to grow and eventually consisted of a series of concrete walls up to 15 feet high. These walls were topped with barbed wire and guarded with watchtowers, machine gun emplacements, and mines. By the 1980s, it extended 28 miles through Berlin and 75 miles around West Berlin, separating it from the rest of East Germany. The East Germans also erected an extensive barrier along most of the 850-mile border between East and West. Between 1961 and 1989, 140 people were killed trying to leave over, under, and around the wall. Then, in 1989, the political tide started turning, and the West organized a pan-European picnic on August 19th to test the reaction of the West and Mikhail Gorbachev. Tens of thousands of East Germans responded by making their way over the border to Hungary. They were given gifts, food, and Deutschmarks, and were then persuaded to come west. Since nothing bad happened, refugees left in growing numbers. On November 9, 1989, a government official of the GDR, East Germany, made an erroneous announcement at a press conference and accidentally stated that East Germany had opened its borders to everyone, effective immediately. In response, East Berliners flocked to the 6 border crossings along the wall, where confused East German guards eventually opened the gates. The people from East Berlin were met by people from West Berlin with flowers, champagne, and joyous celebration. Using various tools, Berliners began to tear down the wall that very evening. Finally, at 10:45 p.m. on November 9th, the border crossing commander yielded to the overwhelming crowds at the 6 checkpoints between East and West Berlin and opened the gates wide. The Brandenburg Gate in Berlin officially opened on December 22, 1989, and West Germans and West Berliners were allowed visa-free travel to East Berlin and East Germany beginning December 23rd, just in time for Christmas. By June 30th, 1990, East German troops had again begun to officially dismantle the wall. The Mauerfall, fall of the wall, paved the way for German reunification. The treaty on the final settlement with respect to Germany, also known as the 2+4 Agreement, was signed September 12, 1990, and on October 3, 1990, East Germany was finally dissolved, and its territory becoming part of West Germany, and it was one country yet again. The treaty also designated October 3rd as a holiday, and the German Unity Day was born. In Vancouver, the new local consul general, Mark Eichhorn, invited members of the German-Canadian Business Association, VIPs in areas of academics, business, and the arts, as well as others in the consular and diplomatic corps, to celebrate at BCIT. West Coast German News was there too.